McLaren Elva about to do Tail of the Dragon in the foothills. Hey everybody, Brooks with Drag Times here. I'm here, and we got a special delivery here from McLaren. It is the McLaren Elva. Of course, to change the color to kind of this matte orange way up there. Let's see if we can bring it down. McLaren Elva about to do Tail of the Dragon in the foothills. So they sent these two special helmets because last time the helmets were flying off our heads. Unfortunately, they didn't put them in the back storage area. So my buddy Harold here has storage duty for a little drive here. With the box on the, there's absolutely no storage in this car. Nothing in the front, nothing in the back. So this is how you transport stuff. You comfortable?
Yeah, it feels great.
You good?
Absolutely.
All right, don't let that blow away, okay? I'm only gonna go like 150. First, I'm gonna give you a complete overview of the car, showing you all the details of this incredible, complete open air, no windshield, no windows, no top. I don't even know what you call it. Probably not even a roadster. It's just an open top, exotic, ultimate hypercar. This is definitely a hypercar. Price tag is around $1.7 million starting, and it takes a lot of cues from the 720 and the Senna. Let's get started and check out the car, and then we're gonna head out and take the car on the foothills, which is an amazing set of roads up here. Then we're also gonna head down to Tail of the Dragon. So this is my house, my cabin up in Tennessee. If you haven't seen details on this, there is a previous video where I did a walkthrough. We're actually doing some construction on the house, adding a few things to the basement. So I might do another update later on. It's about 5,000 square feet, and it's gonna be awesome when we get it sorted. But let's concentrate on the Elva here. This car is just incredible. I've been driving it around for the past few days here in Tennessee, and I got a very good handle on the car. A lot of people think it's the speed racer car, which I can see where people will get those cues from. It is a super low slung car, of course, with no windshield and no windows. It just looks wicked on the road. McLaren has wrapped this in this matte orange, paying homage to some of the previous McLaren race cars. On the door it says something about Bruce McLaren here on the side. It's really, really hard to see. Checking out from the back, it definitely has that speed racer look. The entire car is carbon fiber. This car actually weighs about 500 pounds less than the 765 LT. It is McLaren's lightest road-going car. Let's jump right in. To open the car, there's no exterior door handle. You actually have to know that you reach around on the inside, and there is a button right here. So pressing there opens up the door. This door is completely carbon fiber, super lightweight. And some other notes on this, the complete front piece of the front, or the front bonnet, is complete one piece. So there are no fender lines, no gaps, nothing here. It's all complete one piece carbon fiber. Now on to the inside of the car. This car is not made to get wet, but McLaren prepared for some light misting or water resistant insides. These seats are a special ultra fabric. They're 2 layers, so they're water resistant if water was to get in here and get splashed. The stereo in the car is actually optional. The speakers are back here, and these are actually marine grade speakers, so these can get wet. So I have used the stereo a little bit. It's definitely not a booming stereo. I think those are the only speakers in the car, but with an open top car like this, they're placed right behind your ears, so you can actually hear the radio while you're driving. As for seatbelts, it comes with the regular standard seatbelt and also a 5-point harness system right here, and the backs here you can pull through the seats if you wanted to use those. Onto the rear of the car, the complete back deck here is an active Aero wing, similar to that on the 720S. It's hard to get a handle on how big this is. It takes up the entire back of the car. This is bigger than probably some of the GT2, GT3 RS wings that you see that are just fixed all the way up, and they can't drop down for less aero and less drag on high speeds. The back exhaust, the exhaust is complete titanium. It's actually got 2 exits out the back here and an exit out the top. I believe I was told this is full titanium exhaust, and the reason it exits out the top is to enhance sound. So this adds to more bass sound, and this is the high sound coming out the rear. And this entire back piece here is 3D printed titanium. Now while the engine bay does not open up, you got a pretty clear window into here. This is the engine that comes from the Senna and the Senna GTR, making what McLaren says is 815 horsepower. But as you've seen before, when we dyno these things, they make considerably more. So considering that the McLaren Elva is making a minimum of 815 horsepower and drops over 500 pounds off of the 765 LT, you can imagine how wicked fast this car is, especially with the open top. I gotta tell you, if you've seen a previous video where I drove this car around Palm Beach International Raceway, at upwards of 150 miles an hour, it is pretty incredible, and it can get quite scary with all that wind coming at you. Onto this side of the car, you can see this wheel design is actually my favorite McLaren wheel. I actually wish they would make these on the 765 LT, because I definitely would have picked them. The brakes come from the Senna. They actually have titanium pistons inside the calipers to save even more weight. Of course, you got titanium lug nuts as well to keep the car ultra light. Onto the front of the car, it's got a little bit of 720S in it and a little bit, I mean, this totally looks like the Speed Racer car. But one of the most notable things to talk about up here is the active Aero Management system, which integrates into here and up into here. There's ductwork that's open here, brings air in through the back. There's actually an air dam right here that raises about this high up. And you can see this moving up and down from the car. Now, what that does, it creates a bubble of air across the top of the car, and it's basically like an air bubble, which makes the car much more comfortable to drive at speed. And you might think that's a gimmick and doesn't really work, but I can tell you it is pretty amazing the difference. When driving this car at 60-70 miles an hour with the active Aero Management system off, it's hard to breathe and actually talk to the person next to you. When you turn this on, it quiets down and it gives a much more enjoyable experience of driving this car on the open road. Now, as we're taking this car down the foothills on the Dragon, I'm gonna do my best to try and explain of how that is working. You might actually be able to tell. We're gonna be wearing microphones right here. So it'll be interesting to see if you could tell the difference in the wind noise and the buffering of the microphones as we turn the system off and on. Now, of course, with a completely open cockpit like this, you have to be careful with protection of your eyes and face, because obviously with no windshield protection, rocks and other debris can come up. Now, McLaren has thought about that, and with the car, they include two things to help you out. They include a set of ballistic glasses that are stored in this little compartment. This is basically all the storage you get. You get two of these on each side to store your glasses. Let me pull them out right here. And so here you go. Here's the case they come with. Let me open it up. Inside this little case, you have a set of clear optical protective eyewear, which are pretty cool. Mil-spec. These are actually used by the military. And of course, you can see the Elva engraved on these sides here. So these, you know, you definitely need these at night, because you don't want to wear sunglasses at night. So last night I was driving the car around, we actually took it to downtown Gatlinburg, and if you've been there, it's a super crowded touristy area, and we got some crazy reactions to the car driving through downtown. People had no idea what this thing was. It was really cool. But wearing these definitely helped me out at night. Now, if you're gonna go really fast, McLaren includes a special helmet just for this car. Included with the car are two helmets. You can store one under this back tonneau cover, which I'll open in a second. The other one, well, McLaren says that you store it down here in the footwell. So let's open this up and check it out. Pressing the button back here on the key opens the tonneau cover. And as we open up here, instead of having the top that would normally fold back into here, you have this carbon fiber mini compartment. This is where you would get a little more storage if you weren't storing the helmet down in here. Now, something other to note, this is where you fuel up the car, so you have to open this up. This is where the radiator water is stored, and on the other side, there is where the oil goes. Also included is a first aid kit with some bandages. I don't know, maybe they include that if you got hit by a rock. Last night driving, actually a rock did come up and hit me in the chest from my buddy Matt, who was driving in front of me, but I did have my protective eyewear on. So back here, pull out the special helmet. Here is the specially designed helmet just for the Elva. Now, if you saw in the previous video where I had my traditional helmet that I used to drag race on, it did not work out well, because what happens with normal helmets is as you go faster, air comes underneath your neck, and it was actually trying to lift the helmet off my head. And when you have a chin strap underneath here, it was actually starting to choke me. So in that video, while I was driving fast, I had one hand on my head, one hand on the wheel, trying to drive and keep from the helmet from rising up and obstructing my field of vision. So it was a pretty painful process. So this time McLaren has provided these really cool helmets, and I gotta admit, no one looks great in an open-faced helmet. I'm gonna put this on, but this is probably the coolest open-faced helmet I've seen. So you can see over here, it's got the Elva emblem over here, and it has active or passive aero rather in here. There is a front lip, which you can see here where the air comes, and this will actually push the helmet down as speed increases. Now, optional on these helmets is a Bluetooth communication system. I imagine that goes in these side panels here. So if both drivers had the helmets on, you'll be able to communicate between each other using these. At higher speeds, you definitely feel more protected with this helmet on. It does have a little flip up here, so you can raise this up as well. But then again, you would have to have some glasses on. If you're not bringing the helmets with you, you do get a little bit of storage over here in the back. Now these are actually the air filters. Pretty cool to have this visible here as well. But if you want to drop the helmet in, you take this and it slides right down into this compartment all the way down there. You actually got a little bit of storage here as well, and then you would close this back down. Now that we've done the complete outside of the car, let's jump inside. These doors are super light. I mean, you need to really understand how well light these are. And there's a single hinge design. So on typical McLarens, you can actually see the struts. It's all integrated into one piece. And they are actually also soft close. So you just drop them down and it zips right back in. So opening the doors, let's jump in and check out the inside. Now, getting into the car is interesting because there's no top. It actually makes it pretty easy. There is a pretty wide sill to jump over, but since you don't have to duck down to get in, you can actually stand up inside the car like this and then just kind of drop down. So what I typically do is just put one foot in and just kind of fall in to the car. To close the door, just grab this handle here and drop down. And again, the door is very, very light. To open the door, there's a button right here. Press that, open the door back up, but let's drop it back down. Now we're sitting inside the car and look at the views you get. It is pretty unbelievable to drive a car like this. There is nothing in front of you. It's just you and the road and your sunglasses. There's no windshield getting dirty. There's no reflections coming through. It is a really, really cool experience, and the wind just comes all around you in this car. I don't think there's a better open car convertible that I've ever driven in this, and the active aero system makes a huge difference. I've had 4 people in the car already, and every time they're like, wow, that's amazing how well that really works. So as far as interior comfort, I like these seats a lot. Now all they do is move front and back. They don't tilt backwards and forwards. These were specially designed for this car. Of course, here are the 6-point harnesses as well if you want to use those. A lot of the switch gear, I was told, is also water resistance if you got caught in a storm. They also give you a cover that just in case you had to pull over, you can throw over the cockpit and wait the storm out. But let's get started and look at some of the electronics inside. I'm going to give it a start up. Sounds pretty much like a Senna GTO or a Senna or even a 765 LT, but definitely louder because with nothing back here at all, the exhaust noise is coming straight up and of course out the back. So turning on the electronics here, this is the new design for McLaren. The entire, they call this the binnacle, moves up and down using a switch down here. So when you move it up and down, the entire console, screen, steering wheel, and switches to change the modes moves as well. So what happens is you have your hands on the steering wheel here and your fingers can extend right here to switch the modes from track, comfort, and sport on the transmission on here. The button here, that's for the transmission, manual or automatic. On this side, your hand will be resting here. The ESC button is here to do ESC level 1 or level 2, and this is for the handling as well, up and down. So basically press that. The screen has a very nice layout. I will note there is no launch control button in this car, which is interesting. I looked around a lot for it and I could not find it, but you can launch this car anytime. It's kind of like cars that, you know, just let you hit the brake and the gas, hold on it, and does the same typical launch sequence as all the other McLarens. I kind of like that you do not have to find and press the launch button. So for drag racing, it's one less step you have to worry about. Down here is the front lift system. Over here we have cruise control. The shift paddles are this really nice kind of I don't know if these are aluminum, but these are probably actually titanium shift levers right here. Has a really nice feel to it. Of course, has that back and forward action like typical McLarens do. On to down here, you got the engine start stop button, some AC vents over here. Of course, you know, you have that on this side as well. I haven't had to use the AC at all up here in Tennessee. It's in the mid 70s during the day, but when driving this car, it feels a lot cooler. In the center here, there's a small center console area where you got some USB. Actually, look at that, USB-C and USB, so you can plug in, charge your phone. This is the multimedia interface here system, so that you got your VDC, your drift control, audio, phone, navigation, and then the different settings. I'm not gonna go through all that kind of stuff, but of course there is a lot of options in here. This is the volume knob over here. Now down here on the lower left, you got the auto start stop function, you got the door locks, and this is the open the tonneau cover, if you can see that there. These buttons are kind of hidden. I actually cannot see them from where I'm sitting. Now for these buttons, not a big deal. I'm never gonna really use these that much, but for these buttons over here, I found myself using these two buttons a lot. This is the Aero for the rear wing, and this is the active Aero Management system to get that canopy of air over you while you're driving. Now, when you drive this car, it's one thing you want to play with a lot to see the difference. So I kind of feel myself feeling down here for the button, which I can't really see. So that would have been nice to have somewhere easier to access, maybe on the steering wheel, or possibly even over, like maybe right here where the launch button might have been. That active Aero button would have been cool to have right here, because I found myself kind of looking for it. My passengers as well were looking for it, because sometimes we were upwards of 80 and 90 miles an hour. I would actually turn that off, and all of a sudden the wind was blowing them like crazy, and they were trying to reach around and find that button. And here's your other storage compartment. This is pretty much just made to store your glasses for driving right here. There's not much to store at all. Quick start, press the start button here. We will press the button here to jump out, and we will go ahead and listen to the car. Car sounds really good, but let me shut it off so I don't wake everyone up. All right, so let's get out and hit the road. I did put a post on Instagram, so maybe some other people will meet us out there, but I'm gonna pack up all the stuff, and I believe my daughter's coming with me for the rides. All right, here you go. You ready, Bria?
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna get you properly secured with the helmet, okay? Pull down the chin strap right here, so you're nice and safe. Put this through here. Put this, is it comfortable?
Yes.
Yeah? For a couple hours?
Yeah.
There you go, looks good. I'll get mine out. We are ready for Tail of the Dragon.
I am very ready.
All right, I'll cinch mine up later. Close this down, let's get you inside the car. Now we got racing seatbelts and regular seatbelts, but we're just gonna put the regular seatbelt on, okay? Right here. There you go. All right, we're off. Ugh.